Okay, so this is going to be super unorthodox because I just decided to do this at the last minute. So, sorry if for some reason I missed something. I will come back to the video, watch it, and let you know. So, it's going to be a lot of jumping in and out, moving around to other spots, but I promise you'll get the point. Okay, so first of all, ignore the background noises. My kids are in the next room watching TV loud as hell. I don't know why they watch it that loud, but they do. Okay, so in February of this year, right before my birthday, I was in bed. I rolled over on my side and I felt like I leaned on something or like something was in the bed. So I reached under. I didn't feel anything in the bed, but I started to feel around on my breast because I felt like I rolled over onto something and like something was poking me in my chest. So then, after a great deal of feeling around, I noticed that there was about a, I want to say like a quarter, maybe a quarter size lump in my right breast, right on the outer right side. So, like, right next to my nipple, but not far up by my armpit where they say that most cancers are or anything like that. So, I'm like, okay, what is this? I need to go, check it out. So, prior to this, I had a situation where, I am actually 10 years out from having brain surgery, from having a very large tumor in my brain that came with a whole bunch of other issues or whatnot. But because of that, it's actually very hard for me to get health insurance. So even through a job or whatever, like when they give me a call and they ask me, hey, what's this, what's that, for my medical history, a lot of times they may say, I don't know. So this time around, I got health insurance through my job, but when I went in and they recommended that I go have a mammogram, the insurance carrier started to be a little shifty with me. So by shifty, I mean after I had went and had the mammogram, they were like, okay, well, there absolutely is a lump there. And there's also something in the left breast that we can't really identify. So we really want you to go in and have a biopsy. But the insurance said they absolutely would not pay for it and that it sounds like a pre-existing condition. Sorry. And due to the fact that I actually just started my job. Well, I just got a new job about 9 months ago. So this is new insurance. So because it was, only a month old at the time, because even when you get new insurance, it doesn't go into effect until January 1st. So because it went into effect about a month prior, they did not want to pay for anything. They said, hey, this sounds like some shit you already had and we don't want no part of it. So after that insurance carrier dropped me, I was then forced to put it on hold, to be completely honest. I mean, I have a life, I have, you know, bills, responsibilities, kids that I'm responsible for. So I had to put it on hold for a little bit. And then besides that, after doing my own research, I'm like, okay, this could actually be, a swollen milk duct or a whatever, something that's hormonal that will actually go away, maybe after a period or, with a little bit of time. So a month goes by, it's still there. And when I tell you that when you feel a lump in your breast and it feels like, because a lot of women have lumpy breasts, but I'm talking about it feels like a solid rock, like like you picked up a rock off the ground, one of those little grayish white ones, and you just stuck it in your boob. That's how it feels. It feels like a rock is in there. So it's not something that you could easily mistake for a cyst or something like that. That's a little bit more squishy, a little bit maybe firm, but this is not firm. This is hard. So my local VNA had reached out to me and said that they had received the like results from my mammogram, and that they really wanted me, they felt like it was super important for me to get in and have that biopsy, as soon as possible. Because when it comes to breast cancer, I guess, like, it depends on how quickly you notice it, how quickly you get in and whatnot, can, stop it from spreading to your lymph nodes and to other parts of your body. So, once they got a hold of me and said, hey, we really need you to have this, I explained to them the financial situation and what was going on with the insurance carriers. They said it wasn't a problem and to come in and fill out some forms and that they would pay for me to have this biopsy. Okay, so then I get to biopsy day. I go in. The biopsy itself, I had two different kinds of biopsies because they saw two different things, like a different thing in each breast. The one that had the most issue was the left breast, that they were unsure, what exactly it was. So they had me get into a machine where I lay on my stomach. My breast hangs in between, like a hole in the table, and they have a mammogram machine set up that, like, reaches underneath the table and that they use to direct them to the precise spot that they want to do the biopsy on. The right breast that has the lump in it was a lot simpler of a biopsy. I laid directly on my back on a table in a whole nother room, and a whole separate doctor came in and did that biopsy, where he just kind of like stabbed in and out of a hole. He took, a lot of pieces. He broke it up, though, is what I'm saying. So because it was broken up, the feeling of a hard rock is no longer there afterwards, but there was a substantial amount of bruising around both boobs. So where you have the actual biopsy at, it's going to be yellow, it's going to be green, it's going to be purple, depending, on your skin tone. But it was very bruised for about 2 weeks, to be completely honest. A full 2 weeks it was bruised, and not super painful, but like if you hit it or if you roll over on it or whatever, I have huge boobs, so if I roll over on it in bed or something, it was a little painful, but nothing that I felt like I was like, oh, I wasn't in agony. I didn't have to take medication for pain or anything like that. Okay, so the day I had the biopsies was the Wednesday before Mother's Day. Mother's Day was that following Sunday. So that Thursday, when I got off work, I noticed that I had a missed call from the doctor's office. I tried to call them back, but they were closed for the night. So I woke up early the following morning and I called again. When I got the nurse on the phone and told her that I was just, she asked me what I was calling for, I told her I had missed a call and that I was waiting on results. So she put me on hold, and then she got back on the phone and said, hey, doctor is actually in surgery right now. He'll give you a call back. Now, I knew right then, because a lot of times when it's, when it's no news or when it's good news, a nurse practitioner or whoever, they'll just tell you like, hey, everything came back smooth, you're good. you know, but she didn't say that. So then about 10 minutes later, my doctor, Dr. Bloom at Rush Copley out here in Naperville, he calls me back. He says, hey, I got some good news and I got some bad news. So I'm like, okay, what's up? He said, good news is, whatever we saw in the left breast, it was nothing. It was benign. You're good. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, bad news is that lump you felt in your right breast is definitely cancer. He said it's actually a invasive ductal carcinoma. So I'm like, okay, all right. And he was like, so what do you got going on Monday? I'm like, nothing, because I didn't even care if I had some, which I did. I had to go to work, but never cared. What's up? So he's like, okay, well, I need you to come in. I need you to meet with me on Monday so we can have a conversation about, next steps, what we're going to do next. So get off the phone. So my oldest daughter was like standing right behind me in my hallway while I was on the phone. She was, patiently awaiting news as well, trying to see what was going on. And when I turned around and I seen her face, I just immediately was like, honey, I'm so sorry. And she just falls into my arms and starts bawling. And of course, I start crying because my baby is crying. So, at that point in time, I knew some shit was about to go down. And honestly, it just felt kind of like, I mean, not to be like, weird or anything, but I felt very much like, hey, because all week at work, everybody kept on going, hey, all day at work, Friday especially, everybody was walking up going, hey, are you a mom? Happy Mother's Day. Hey, happy Mother's Day. Hey, happy Mother's Day. And I was just thinking to myself, happy Mother's Day. You got cancer. Like, what a gift I got, huh? I mean, not trying to be like, boo hoo, feel bad for me or anything like that. Of course not, because there's so many people that get worse diagnoses. But I just was like, kind of, I don't know. I just, every time somebody was like, happy Mother's Day, I was thinking, fuck you. Okay, sorry for dropping the F bomb, but that's just how I felt in that moment. Anyways, that's enough of that for now. I got so much more to tell you guys, but I don't want these videos to be long as hell, so I'll, get back with you guys in maybe a couple of days because I actually have surgery coming up very soon, and I want you guys to be able to see what I have going on when I have it going on when it comes to the surgery situation. So for right now, I'm just trying to catch you guys up on what's been going on thus far. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in a little bit. Pray for me.